Greetings. Been going through some of my old 45s, and I managed to get all my Atlantic 45s together in one place for a change. Um, so this is one of my all-time favourite 45s. Oops, a bit sunny in here. Might move around. Ooh, better. Um, a cat climbing up. A cat climbing up the fence onto the roof. Yes. Australian. God, I love this single. I love this one. First hit by the Young Rascals, Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore. Classic stuff. Classic. A treasure. That's an Australian one copy from 66, maybe even 65. Not this bullshit again. I'm actually slowing down on the cigarettes. It's just old age, you know. Thank God, because it's so expensive. To people who've never smoked, they say, well, why do you smoke? Well, if you're a caffeine addict, you know, like you have 10 cups of coffee a day or 20 cups of tea, it's the same sort of buzz. It's just gives you that, you know, it gives you a lift. There's no stone off it, but it is. It's sort of a mild buzz. Okay, these are all over the shop. This was probably the last Atlantic 45 I got. Great single. Friends Electric Tubeway Army, 1979. This is a UK press. I know, I forgot I had this, and I'm so glad I've got it. What a classic. Good times. Now, this one's corny, but it's pretty good. This must be a UK press. Can I read it? I would say so. UK, possibly US, I don't know. I got you, babe, Sonny and Cher. That song was ubiquitous at the time in 65, 66. And it's a classic. Talking about classics. This was a real blow when he went down. I bought this. It's a typical Australian Atlantic from 67. They had these horrible bad printing press there, whoever was pressing them. And that green is so washed out. The dock of the bay. I remember buying this. I bought it at Miranda Fair, which was just a couple of miles from where I lived in the southern suburbs of Sydney. And it was the biggest shopping mall in the southern hemisphere at the time. It was built in 1963. It's massive beyond belief now. It's horrific. It's gotten beyond the realms of normal of pleasantness. It's just you literally get lost there. It's scary. I lost my car there one year, and it took me hours to find it. But it wasn't that big to start with, yet it was the biggest in the southern hemisphere. But look at the condition. That's my original I bought. I always look after my 45s. sadly, his last single died very soon afterwards. That was a real blow. And, Buddy Holly was a blow because I was 8 when he died, and that really knocked me for 6 because Peggy Sue was the first song that drove me nuts. I just loved that. And then he died, and then Otis had had a few hits, but Dock of the Bay was another level again. It was just getting more shit, and then he was gone, and half the band. Talking of Otis, the US double-sided Pain in My Heart, and sorry, Respect. I still prefer Aretha's version. I mean, let's face it, Aretha and Otis, the king and queen of soul. Really, they were. I was a teenager when this came out, and they were it. They were just so cool. All right, this is not one of their best singles, unfortunately, but it's on Atlantic and it's the Young Rascals. At least they got the green a bit better here. That's what it was supposed to look like. But yeah, it's when they got hippie and trippy. Yes, it's immaculate. Oh, but then again, this is an interesting track. It's wonderful. See the band there. There's this real weird. They go completely freaked out psychedelic there, and it's wonderful. It's just real sort of corny hippie, peace and love sort of shit. But then they do this really bizarre um, sort of freak out thing there. Shit, I should play that again. I suppose it's a classic in its own way. It's not, I prefer the early Rascals, when they were the young Rascals. Then they became the Rascals. So this must have been the very last of, the young Rascals. This was the start of their hippie phase. Well, they got a lot of big hits, but not so you can't knock it. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. This is another US copy. I have all these. I have this on an EP, an Australian EP, on that green label, Atlantic. In Australia, the first 2 Led Zeppelin albums I bought were on that green, stripe Atlantic label. Yeah, well, there you go again. See, there's It's Wonderful again, without the band. See, it's just the song itself without that freak out. So that's interesting. I didn't know I had that. And this I've got on an EP. This is a killer. You Better Run, the Young Rascals. Oh man, what a track! I forgot I had this. I always thought. Oh, I always thought I had it, and then I could never find it. Great, mighty Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. Now that is Procol Harum took that, basically that. It's even got organ and stuff on it. I mean, When a Man Loves a Woman, a Wider Shade of Pale is a copy of When a Man Loves a Woman. They're both great in their own way, but Wider Shade of Pale just takes it to that ethereal level. Wider Shade of Pale, in my opinion, is the greatest 45 of 1967. It's the sound of 1967. This airline steward that worked for Qantas, my godmother's son, Teddy Jarrett, he used to go over to the UK all the time. He met Barry Gibb on a plane there one day, and he said Barry Gibb was reading comic books. And Teddy brought me back some of those early John Mayall albums, Diary of a Band, volumes 1 and 2, which were incredibly, made me really hit with the the cool cats around the place because you just couldn't get them out here. And then these arseholes are just banned. I was in briefly. Fucking prick Dave Wade left them on the back windowsill of his Ford Cortina GT, and they just, he's a prick. Arsehole. And another UK copy. I say a little prayer. That's your classic green and orange Atlantic, beautiful label. Yeah, that plum one's, the plum ones are collectible, but I don't like the colour scheme. You know, I like the green and the orange. I was just watching. I better hurry up. I was just watching on YouTube because I love Mitch Ryder. You know, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, Devil with a Blue Dress, and then Linda C. Dixon, my top 10 singles of all time. I was watching him do a duet with Otis Redding, and when I read the comments, I went, "Oh my God!" It was the last time Otis Redding sang on stage. He literally was killed in a plane crash the very next day. So the last thing Otis Redding did was a duet with Mitch Ryder. Oh, wow. And Mitch Ryder's a great vocalist, right? When you hear him, you go, wow, that guy's got soul, and he's a white guy, but he sounds black. But when you get him in a duet with Otis, there's no contest. No contest at all. It's like, yeah, Mitch is great as long as Otis isn't around. That was a huge loss, a tragic loss. Anyway, folks, that'll do for today, and catch you later.